The voices of women who are on the front lines of climate change are consistently underrepresented in decision-making. National Adaptation Plan (NAP) processes will drive investments in adaptation over the coming years. For these processes to be effective in enabling gender-responsive and locally led adaptation, they must be built on a foundation of diverse knowledge and inclusive decision-making. In an effort to amplify the voices of underrepresented women in NAP processes, the NAP Global Network has partnered with Lensational, a social enterprise whose mission is to empower women from marginalized groups to tell their stories through photography.
This exploratory nature of photography allows the women that we work with and that we train to reflect upon their images and question their perceived selves, a process that allows them to embrace the multiplicity of who they are as mothers, wives, partners, friends, sisters, colleagues, and most importantly, as individuals. And this ultimately facilitates the creation of their own self-determined identities.
The project is providing participatory photography and storytelling training to women affected by climate change in Ghana and Kenya.
Today's workshop has been an eye-opener for me. Learning about climate change, I realized there are more negative things going on in our community, especially here in Ghana, that we need to talk about.
I feel inspired to document the story about women, how climate change is affecting them from now till 2030. What is the change? What will be the effect? So I want women's voice to be heard about how climate change is affecting their livelihoods, how they take care of their family, how they are being displaced. Because in Africa, it's the women that host the family, though the men are claimed as the head of the family.
I've learned about climate change, the impacts and causes of climate change. I've also learned on how to handle the camera and how to take pictures. With what I have learned, I would use that opportunity to always make pictures and tell stories out of them.
Sisi kama Masai, wakati wa ukame, sisi tunapata kuhamahama kwenda pale na pale juu ya shida ya maji, shida ya hizi nyasi, sasa tunahamahama.
For several years, the women have been affected by climate change, and these women are the ones who feel about this climate change because without food in their home, they're the ones who feel because they look for food for their children, water when there is no sufficient rain.
While government officials from their countries are in Glasgow participating in COP26, our group of trainees is studying and documenting their immediate surroundings, zooming in on often overlooked issues, and thinking about ways to motivate immediate action among decision makers. Building on the momentum from COP26, Lensational and the NAP Global Network will organise photography exhibitions during which the programme's trainees will showcase their photos and share their stories with key adaptation decision makers at the national level. Through these visual stories, the trainees will communicate their experience and visions of resilience, facilitating a dialogue on the priorities needed for NAP processes to enable gender-responsive and locally led adaptation action.
NAP processes are a key opportunity to advance adaptation to climate change in vulnerable countries.
By enhancing the capacities of underrepresented women to engage in adaptation planning processes, the effectiveness and sustainability of these processes will be improved.
Locally led and gender-responsive adaptation action is essential to building the resilience of those on the front lines of climate change.